lesson, we'll be learning the singular demonstrative pronouns. We'll be focusing on Valika and Tilka. This is part 2. Learning objectives. By the conclusion of this video, the student will be able to 1. Decide when to use Valika or Tilka, and 2. Understand when to use Hada versus Hadahi or Valika versus Tilka. Let's begin with a quick review. Remember that demonstratives are words such as this and that, used to indicate which entities are being referred to and to distinguish those entities from others. The Arabic word for demonstratives is ism el-ishara. There are 4 singular demonstratives: hada, hadahi, dhalika, and tilka. Dhalika. Dhalika means that in Arabic. It's the masculine form and it's used with masculine nouns. Now let's look at some sentences using dhalika. Look at the following examples and examine the differences between them. Dhalika mataron. Dhalika mataron means that is an airport. In the second example, we have dhalika el mataru. Dhalika el mataru means that airport. In the third example, we have dhalika huwa el mataru. Dhalika huwa el mataru means that is the airport. Let's examine these examples grammatically. In the first example, dhalika mataron, we have a full sentence. It begins with dhalika, the ism el-ishara, meaning that, and a singular, indefinite, masculine noun, ending with nunation. Dhalika mataron. It's a full sentence, meaning that is an airport. In the second example, we have dhalika el-mataru. Dhalika is the ism el-ishara, meaning that, followed by a definite, masculine, singular noun, el-mataru. It only contains one vowel marker at the end because it is definite. It's no longer a sentence, but merely a phrase. Dhalika el-mataru means that airport. In the third example, we've added huwa, the word for he or it in Arabic, in between dhalika, the ism el-ishara, and el-mataru, the singular, definite masculine noun. Here, it becomes a sentence again. Dhalika huwa el-mataru means that is the airport. Let's look at another example using dhalika. This time, we're going to use the noun khitab. Khitab means speech. How would you translate the following? Dhalika khitabun. Dhalika khitabun means that is a speech. It's a full sentence. What about the second example? Dhalika el-khitabu. Dhalika el-khitabu means that speech. It's a phrase. And finally, how would you translate dhalika huwa el-khitabu? Dhalika huwa el-khitabu means that is the speech. Now let's look at tilka. Tilka means that, just like dhalika. But tilka is the feminine form, and it's used with feminine nouns. Let's look at how we use tilka. Look at the following examples and examine the differences between them. In the first example, we say tilka sayyaraton. Tilka sayyaraton means that is a car. In the second example, we have tilka as-sayyaratu. Tilka as-sayyaratu means that car. And in the third example, we have tilka hiya as-sayyaratu, which means that is the car. Let's examine these examples grammatically. Look at the first example, tilka sayyaratun. Tilka is our ism el-ishara. It means that. Sayyara is a singular, feminine, indefinite noun, ending in ta marbuta. Because it ends in ta marbuta, we have a ta sound at the end when we add nunation. So it's pronounced sayyaraton, sayyaraton. Tilka sayyaraton means that is a car. In the second example, tilka again is our ism el-ishara. This time we've added an alif lam to sayyara to make it definite. So we have a singular, definite feminine noun ending in ta marbuta. It only takes one vowel marker and is pronounced tilka as-sayyaratu. We no longer have a full sentence, merely a phrase. In the third example, we add hiya, which is the word for she or it in Arabic, in between tilka, the ism el-ishara, and as-sayyaratu, the singular feminine definite noun. Tilka hiya as-sayyaratu means that is the car. Let's look at another example using tilka. We'll use the word ziyaraton. Ziyara means visit. This time it's your turn. I'm going to read the sentence or phrase, and I want you to tell me what it means. If I say to you, tilka ziyaraton, what am I saying? Tilka ziyaraton means that is a visit. What about if I say tilka az-ziyaratu? Tilka az-ziyaratu means that visit. And finally, if I say tilka hiya az-ziyaratu, what am I saying? Tilka hiya az-ziyaratu means that is the visit. If you are confused as to whether you need to use dhalika or tilka, consider the gender. If the person being talked about is a male, or the thing being talked about is masculine in gender, we use dhalika. If the person being talked about is a female, or the thing being talked about is feminine in gender, we use tilka. Remember in part 1 that if we want to decide if a word is masculine or feminine, we look at 3 different things. First, does it end in ta marbuta? Secondly, does the word itself have a feminine meaning? Or thirdly, did the ancient Arabs say that it's feminine? So by now, you should understand the difference between dhalika and tilka. Both words, dhalika and tilka, mean that, but dhalika is used for males and tilka is used for females. Dhalika is used for things which are masculine and tilka is used for things which are feminine. Now let's recap which ism el-ishara you need to use. If something is close to you and it's a male or it's of the masculine gender, you use hada. If something is close to you but it's of the feminine gender or it's female, you use hadihi. If something is far away from you and it's a male, you use dhalika. But if it's far away from you and it's female or of the feminine gender, you use tilka. This brings us to the end of our video. Thanks for watching.